Stay tuned for this next video where I'm going to give you the entire bird's eye view of the entire course. That's right, the entire course from A to Z. I'm going to put it together in one video so you can have an understanding of what's going to be taught throughout that entire course. It's very important that everybody has a step-by-step process. Now, you create your own process, but I want you to take a look at the process that we use to give you an idea of how it should be and how you can make it your own. And get ready, we've got 2 more chapters coming soon. David Farber from the Farber Law Firm, the attorney I've been working with since the beginning of my career, and my personal accountant, Jeremy David of Noble Wealth. You're going to love these chapters. You're going to learn so much, and I encourage you to go ahead and check it out. Welcome back, everybody, to our online university, our insurance claims process, and how to make sure that you get it right without making the mistakes. Now we're going to go through an overview, a bird's eye view of what this entire course is going to entail and all 10 chapters that we're going to have thrown at you. A lot of information. So we're going to give you a bird's eye overview of what is going to be included in this course. All right, so we're going to basically take you through the entire claims process from start to finish. From when you get that phone call and you get that lead to when you visit the insured, you interview the insured, ask them all the right questions, file the claim, do the inspection with the insurance company, follow up with them, dispute process, and settlement. So the first thing will be, of course, the initial inspection. And the initial inspection is not the initial inspection with the insurance company, but is the initial inspection with the insured. We're going to basically take you through how you document the file, the interview questions that you have to ask the client, how you take your photos, and how you basically put your file together, and then also how you get your contract signed to make sure that you could actually take this file and represent the homeowner or the policyholder as successfully as possible. The next thing is we're going to be basically putting your file together. What are like the 4 to 5 things that you must have in your file no matter what? Every file is relatively the same. There's going to be other invoices and there's going to be other documentation that you might need depending on the claim. But for the most part, you're going to need these 4 or 5 things in every single file to make sure that you have a complete file. And then what happens after that is just the life of the claim. The file will, of course, grow. But right in the beginning, right after that initial inspection, you should have about 4 or 5 things in every single one of your file as soon as you meet the insurance company. The insurance company's process and the insurance company's inspection, we're going to take you through that as well. I think you're going to be surprised that the insurance company's process is not that much different than our own process. We're all adjusters on both sides anyway, and we're all sort of gathering a lot of the same documentation anyway. So the better you do your job, the better it's going to, the easier your claims process will be. The easier the life of the claim will be. And the easier the life of the claim is, the easier it's going to be on you, and ultimately the easier it's going to be for your client, the policyholder. And then we're going to go through the follow-up process and the workflow. How is it that you follow up with the insurance company? How often do you follow up with the insurance company? What letters do you need to send? There's a different letter that you send on the initial contact with the insurance company to the 7th or 8th contact with the insurance company. There's a different letter that you send if they haven't followed up with you or responded to one of your letters. There's going to be different letters you send if there's certain documents that you're attaching. What if you're filing a complaint? Just the follow-up process and the workflow of the life of the claim, it's going to really help you narrow down your process to make sure you're getting it right and you're not getting your claim lost in the process. Settlement, of course, there's different things that go on to settlement. Sometimes you're negotiating. What line items are you taking out of your estimate to try to settle? What line items are you absolutely not going to take out? How much of your estimate do you want to make sure that you're settling for? What happens after the check arrives, and where do you take this check? Who gets it endorsed first? Who gets it endorsed last? When do you deposit your fee? All these questions we're going to answer in the settlement chapter of this course. Of course, the ADP, the alternative dispute process. There's about 4 different alternative dispute processes, because once the undisputed payment is made, chances are you're going to have to take one of these routes. Actually, 100% guaranteed you're going to have to take one of these routes, okay? Are you going to file a lawsuit? I don't know. Are you going to go to appraisal? We're going to go through all of those processes and what it entails and some of the benefits and not so beneficial things throughout all of these different alternative dispute processes. Payment disbursement, like I talked about, we're going to talk about that as well. What happens once you get the check? We all want to get paid, but the fact of the matter is, as a public adjuster, we don't get, or even a contractor or an attorney, none of us get paid until the claim actually gets settled. So we're going to go over payment disbursement, who signs it, and the different ways that you could handle it, and the different ways other public adjusting firms and other contracting firms handle the actual insurance claim payment. We're going to go through some additional terms, okay? Some real interesting terms that I think everyone should have a clear understanding of. Terms that are in the policy that may be confusing to the layman or maybe not understood by someone who just doesn't know insurance. We're going to go through some simple terms, some more complicated terms, so that you could have a good general understanding of what these terms mean and you could explain it to any and all of your clients. I'm going to talk about the 9 things that you must know when starting out. Now, this chapter, I will say, is more geared towards public adjusters. There's public adjusters when they're just starting out. So if you're starting a new career, you're here as a public adjuster, and you've just become a public adjuster, and you're sort of not sure where to start, I would even tell you possibly to just skip down to this chapter and just get this one first. Before you even get into the minutia of the claims process, you're going to want to be able to set up your company. You're going to want to be able to find the right company. You're going to want to be able to set yourself up to make sure that you know what you're getting yourself into and you're doing everything you need to do right on the front end. And then, of course, we'll go over my toolkit, but I think there's a bonus one too. But anyway, we'll go over my toolkit. I'm basically going to tell you the 1, 2, 3 most essential tools that I need to make sure that I'm inspecting the loss correctly. There's a ton of different tools. There's a lot of things that you can purchase, a lot of software you can download, but I'm going to go over my 3 favorite. And that's that. That's the 10 chapters we're going to be going over. There's also a bonus lesson that I'm very excited about that I didn't put in this bird's eye view that is going to be very beneficial if you have an actual public adjusting firm, or even if you're by yourself. It's about setting goals. It's about setting 3-month goals, 1-year goals, 3-year goals, 10-year goals. It's about having a weekly scorecard to making sure you're keeping track with all the claims that you've got and all the jobs that you have. And it's about hitting the goals that you need to get to continue to move your career in the right direction. So the bonus lesson, guys, is going to be incredible. You could see it. It's basically chapter 11. It is a bonus lesson that I think is going to be very beneficial for your overall growth. And that's that, guys. I'm excited. Get ready. Chapter 1, initial inspection. Good luck. Additional living expenses is one of the most difficult parts of an insurance claim. And the reason is it's very high pressure. And as a public adjuster or contractor, you're already dealing with the negotiating of the build back process. You don't want to have to deal with ALE as well. Black Diamond Housing Services does all of that. They don't even charge the client. They bill it directly to the insurance company. It's all covered under the ALE coverage. So you need to call Black Diamond if you have a house that has been severely lost, whether it's like severe mold, severe water, fire, or anything like that, where they need a place to stay. Call Black Diamond Housing Services and they'll be able to take care of your client from beginning to end. I had been looking for an accountant for years and I was unable to find anybody that I liked, that I worked with, and was able to do what I needed to be done to my taxes and to my accountant. Jeremy David at Noble Wealth has been a godsend to me, my family, and my company. We have saved so much money in taxes I can't even begin to describe, and he knows what he's doing. You need to call Jeremy at Noble Wealth and get yourself the right accountant, because he's the man who's going to help you save on taxes. Because ultimately, you don't want to be making money, especially if you're self-employed, and having it all go to the IRS. Call Jeremy, call Noble Wealth, and they will help you tremendously with the entire accounting process and your tax situation from A to Z. Everybody needs an attorney on their side. So whether you're a public adjuster or contractor or anyone else in the insurance claims business, make sure that you have an attorney that you could rely on, that you can go to for questions whenever you need it. That guy for me for the last 12 years has been David Farber. David Farber is the owner of the Farber Law Firm, and he has been there for me from the beginning of my career until now. And I would love for him to be able to help you as well. So make sure you call him at this number here and visit his website so you can learn more about the amazing David Farber of the Farber Law Firm.